Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today in CookieCast, it's the football podcast. Myself, Mr. Williams, Mr. Panas, sit down to discuss the glorious world of football. Talk about the games from last week, any upsets, the week that has been in the football world, predict upcoming games, and just generally get into the football world. So yeah. If you are checking us out on YouTube, obviously you're a subscriber, because, you know, that's the right thing to do. If you're not checking us out, do jump over. There's a video, so there's stuff to stare at. So, there's that. While you're there, do subscribe. Give us a little subscribe. Click for notifications and all of that, and yeah, that'll be cool. Cheers. So there we go. This is CookieCast. You can't see the forest for the trees. Boom. Definitely not for the second time. Absolutely the first time today. James Panas has something to tell you.
Today I meant to tell you that you have tuned in to You Can't See the Forest for the Trees, the premier York-based Borough and Nottingham podcast.
Premier, there's a laugh. Chance to be a fine.
That's fine. We're in season 3. We're into episode 2, so we've got some to look back on.
Season 3, episode 2, with one agenda.
How are you going to do next week then?
Season 4. No, season 3.
That's not how it works.
3, episode 3, with a triple main event. I have no fucking idea.
Season 3. Right.
Reaching. I'm Adam reaching.
So that means, because we're on episode 2, there must be something to talk about that's occurred since episode 1.
That will be a sensible thing to think, James.
Yeah.
A segment aptly named Last Week in Football.
Well, indeed.
Yeah.
Now, last week we said on the podcast that we were going to try and streamline this a bit more and keep it just championship based.
That would have required some
Problem is that is the main point.
I thought you mean as in me. Just hasn't got anything to talk about championship wise.
Let's be honest. Unless you support a team in the championship.
Yeah, but the point is that's the view, isn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. But people tuned in because they're hardcore Borough, possibly Foxman, but I mean that's not really going to be the case.
If we had enough viewer engagement at this point, we could say in the comments.
Ooh, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, and then comment on which team you subscribe and listen to this for.
Good point.
Of the listenership, obviously it's all on Andy there. We have to basically sort of look at the numbers, look at who listens to it in the greater Teesside area and the greater West Brompton area.
Brompton?
Yeah.
Just thought it was Brompton.
Bridgeford.
Thank you.
Bridgeford. Sorry.
Could we not just open up to West Midlands?
Where the fuck's West? No! You're not in Birmingham.
Well,
why the fuck would people from Birmingham? You fucking caring about Forest. Definitely Eastern. Yeah. Yes, so this week, what has happened? International football is not, well, it wasn't just domestic football that was back. International football is back. So we've had 2 games of the UEFA Nations League, a competition that's absolutely not complete and utter bollocks. Well, they've already changed.
At least it means. So I don't think England are going to get much help, other than probably backdoor into entries into other things. But it does mean that the likes of your Faroe Islands and your San Marino Maltas or whatever. They're just not just getting conked for the sake of it.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, it does. I suppose from a base level, it does mean that you're going to have more competitive games between more competitive nations. If that makes sense. So
yeah, closely ranked teams.
Yeah, you're going to be playing against teams that, in theory, you shouldn't play. It makes it a bit more like a league system.
Yeah, so the game should have had.
Yeah.
I mean, Belgium proved that wasn't the case.
Was it 5-1?
Yeah.
So England could only just scrape past Iceland at the weekend with a 1-0 victory.
With a 1-0 victory, with a, what was it?
91st minute penalty?
91st minute penalty, and then relying on someone just...
Absolutely. Well, I didn't see the second half because I had to edit it. So I listened to it whilst I was driving the car. And TalkSport were explaining the situation and the scenario that was going on for the penalty. So it sounded a bit odd. But yeah, England limped to a 1-0 win over Iceland and then a 0-0 draw with Denmark. Just horrendous.
And they were definitely the lesser.
Yeah, Denmark were definitely the better team than the bits that I saw.
It's been told to us though that he was testing out
formation, players. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher were particularly upset that he had 3 right-footed centre-backs. Well, and a left-footed centre-back, 1 centre-back.
Well, wasn't it something like, of the people that played, there was arguably sort of 6 defenders or defensive-minded players on the pitch?
Yeah, so you played a 3-5, so you played like a 5-3-2 or 3-5-2.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 centre-backs.
So your 3 centre-backs were Cody, Dyer, Alexander Arnold, or was he playing as the right wing-back? I mean, I could just make it a lot easier for all the new publications.
I think, but I know that, like, obviously one of the issues was you've got all your centre backs were right footed. Trippier, your left wing back, right footed. But I don't think they've got a left back in the squad.
Joe Gomez was the third. He didn't pick a left back because Chilwell was injured.
Yeah,
he seems to have some sort of vendetta against Danny Rose. Although saying that, I thought he had a vendetta against Kyle Walker because he had picked him for the last couple of spots, and then he just appeared in the squad.
Yeah,
and no one even mentioned he got sent off against Ice.
Because I think Kyle Walker, that's for England, his best position is one of the 3 now because he's not really there for a right wing back.
Yeah. So scratch that. So they played a 3-4-3 according to Sky, and 7 of the 10 outfield players arguably were defenders.
Yeah, they were saying that what possessed him to play
Phillips and Wright.
And the key thing is, you look at the formation, you're playing 2 holding midfielders against a team that doesn't even play with a 10 or an attack player.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely baffling. Like, there's being conservative, and then there's literally just playing for a draw.
And then it obviously come out this week as well now. Well, it's not come out, it's not secret. Calvin Phillips has played for England before he's played in the Premier League.
Yep, absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. I've got a mate who's a Leeds fan. He said, "Oh, you just Leeds batting." I'm like, I'm really, really not. There shouldn't be absolutely no scenario where a guy plays for the national team before he's played in the top division
and the other thing,
of that fucking
because I always make
that country.
That like Southgate's there, and one of the advantages he's bringing through players he's worked with at youth level. Calvin Phillips never made an appearance at any other level.
I was going to say, he hasn't played the under-21s.
No, he's never played for England at any other level, so it's not like he's built the reputation there.
People are saying, "Oh yeah, but he's the best player in that position."
Not in that formation though, because Leeds play like a 4-1-4-1, don't they? So he's used to being on his own. I
just love to know when the hype train started, because people will say, "Oh, he's the best holding midfielder in the Championship." Right? That's not challenging.
No,
that is not a difficult position to be. fucking hell. I mean, like, go back 5 seasons, Adam Clayton was the best Orange midfielder in the championship, and he went downhill pretty quick. There's no clamour for him.
While we're talking,
There's no clamour for him to get
to bring it back down. Why now is he keep over and over again recommending on my Instagram that I follow? Like, is it because you and Lewis follow Adam Clayton?
Might be. Or Insta's just like, here's an interesting person to follow. He's full of banter.
It never used to tell me to follow him when he played at Borough either.
Well, maybe that's it, because it's probably because he's in the West Midlands now, isn't it? So, you know.
Okay, there you go. That's what I'm watching. So we've digressed really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with Calvin Phillips getting into the England squad once he played against actual top level players.
Yeah.
He's never been tested at a club level for Leeds. I think when they played against Arsenal in the FA Cup and stuff, they lost. And obviously, if he's so good at like keeping out international quality players, surely he'd be stopping attacks that are coming through,
possibly
sweeping up, you know, cleaning up and stuff like that. I want to see something before all this, like, everyone starts like absolutely swallowing every inch of his fucking nose.
If you were Southgate though and you wanted to play, I mean, I don't see why you're playing 2, but if you wanted to play a holding midfield, who are you picking? Because I don't see how it runs.
If you're playing a 3-4-3 and your 2 of your 4 are both holding midfielders, something has gone drastically wrong.
Yeah.
You either need 2 of the most attack-minded wing-backs ever.
I mean, Alexander Arnold probably could fit that bill, but it doesn't look the same for him.
The problem I've always had with a 3-4-3,
and obviously at Liverpool he plays as just a fullback.
So my main problem with a 3-4-3 is that where do your wide 2 of your front 3 play? Because if anything, that to me should be 3, 4, 2, 1.
Or the other way around, but it doesn't work for Kane. So you look like if Liverpool play a front 3, it works for them.
Yeah.
Because granted, Mane and Salah can play wide.
They play off
they generally play as the forwards, and Firmino drops a little.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think of Firmino ahead, but he does drop.
A 4-3-1-2, 1-2. Yeah. I suppose.
So that's how you narrow.
Because he almost plays the striker and the 10.
But Kane's never going to play that.
No, he's not. So it's tactically it's a bit rigid for me. Play that style, and like we said, you should never really. If you're playing a 4 in midfield, you should never have 2 holding midfielders. If you're going to put 2 holding midfielders, you have to play the 4-2-3-1 for me.
Yeah, but why do you need 2 holding midfielders when you've got 3 centre backs?
Yeah. Why? Again, well, why do you need any holding midfielders if you've got 3 centre backs?
Yeah.
Really? The only time we need a holding midfielder is if you've got 2 centre backs, because you want that extra bit of protection.
Or you Sheffield United.
And you just play with overlapping.
Yeah. What? I can understand if you want a whole of that.
But I mean,
sorry.
I just got very. It's strange. Like for me, rather than putting Phillips in the squad, why not call up Jack O'Connell, who's had a season where he's played well for Sheffield United, and play him as your own? He's played against, like, you know.
Doesn't he play as one of the 3?
Yeah, he's a centre half, granted. But in theory, there's no reason why in the role that he plays at Sheffield United, he's designed to carry the ball out. So he'd be comfortable sitting in front of the defence and just dropping back in if he needed to. So actually play a player that's actually played in the division.
2 or 3 years ago, you would have said that's a role made for Dyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he seems to have just.
It's a strange one, Dyer, because I maintain that when the World Cup in 2018, if I was picking a team, I'd have had him in ahead of Henderson in the position that Henderson was. And I think it was at the time. I thought that was perfectly justified because arguably he had a better season than Henderson had at that point.
Yeah.
Obviously now everyone's absolutely fucking licking Jordan Henderson arsehole.
I'm not doing that, but I think he's a good player and I think he should be in that.
Oh,
when he's good to be in that first.
When he's fit, he's basically the vice captain.
Yeah.
So he's always going to play. I feel like we've spent quite a lot of time.
So what happened this week in football then?
The Nations League.
What? If we're looking at it on one set of things, England fantastically didn't concede any goals across the international game.
Yeah, you're looking at it.
That surprises me. I mean, England are a team that are well known for top quality football.
Long.
I suppose it's
Just realised my face only works on video, so if you are just listening to us, maybe jump over to YouTube real quick and just...
That was another one that was baffling to me. I don't understand why Pickford, after having the season that he's had, why wouldn't he... In two... I know they're not friendlies, because friendlies don't exist anymore, but in two fairly meaningless games, why do you try Henderson?
Yeah, because my concern would be
more like Orange Sword. Well, I mean that aside, but, you know.
Yeah,
my missed that. That was a last week's podcast.
In joke. But in fact, did we even do it on the podcast, or was that just a different thing?
Oh, I'm fairly certain it was on. Oh, maybe it was on the podcast.
I think it was.
I've sold people down the river there.
Yeah.
Apologies.
I think go back and watch it.
Go back and watch it, and if I got it wrong, call me out on it.
Yeah.
Comment, send him a tweet.
Yeah. Call me a fucking idiot.
My concern is you'll get to summer, we'll be going into a tournament, and then we'll be having that debate.
Yeah. Well, that's
this is the time to kind of give them a go.
Yeah, you want to try them before the tournament, so there'll be what? Maybe another 4 international breaks between now and the start of the tournament?
Probably. I don't really know what the agenda looks like.
Is it normally like November, December sort of time?
Well, I don't know. I know that we're playing Belgium in October, aren't we?
Oh, maybe it's then.
Yeah.
And then you only have like a bit of a break until March, I think.
But presumably that'll be a double header, so does that mean that we will have a
I don't know, actually. Never really thought about it. But,
or do we just have one of these? Do we just play Iceland again in that? So you just turn it around, whatever.
Let's see.
So that was England, yeah. What else happened? Transfers. James moved.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Not for him.
I think
it's a great sign.
I think he's a little bit alright. But still 6 years, a big player for Everton.
Oh yeah, if he can recreate...
Obviously he's not Ancelotti though, I mean, that's the draw.
If he can recreate the form that he had in the 2014 World Cup, then Everton have got a great player, but that's 6 years ago. And he's definitely been dining out on that for the last 6 years. I saw a tweet where someone had put, oh, he was voted the 3rd best player in Germany 2 years ago. Right, because he was playing for Bayern. Put him in any other team.
Farmers League #1.
Put him in any other team. He'd be fucking anonymous. So let's just temper that down, shall we?
People see stuff in it though. I mean, United chased him for a lot.
Yeah. There's obviously a player in there. I mean, you don't win the best player of the World Cup. I know you won the gold ball, top scorer.
And he scored one of those, was it?
Well, that's why. Oh, peachy. Lovely. Yeah, so he's gone. Was Havertz signed last week?
No, I
think he's just gone through.
Yeah.
Well, people have said that because of the amount that Chelsea have agreed to sign in for, it's gonna be like chance of getting Sancho for less than 100 million. Apparently. So, because obviously, if if Leverkusen are sold him for, I think it was like 108 million or something like that, and Dortmund would be like, well, we think Sancho's a better player than that, so we're not going to sell for less.
If I was Man United, I'd be like, that's not worth it.
No, absolutely not.
Speaking of Man United and signing players, obviously we need to talk about Messi going to United. Cause that's.
He was never going to United. Go on, Andy. Put forward your prospectus.
Well, I saw various tweets that sort of like started slow and steady, low down, where it was like, yeah, if Messi goes to United, it's going to be amazing for the club. I was like, what? And then it was like, yep. So the ink's still wet on the contract. It's all a done deal. Nice one. And then the next thing I saw was Messi starts practice at Barcelona.
I think it's because Barcelona won't sell him. The only way he was ever going to leave, because he's got a clause in his contract for €700 million. The only way he's ever going to leave is if La Liga ratified that clause where he could leave after the Champions League final. But
so apparently it's written into his contract that at the end of every season, if he wants to, he can walk away for nothing.
Within 10 days of the Champions League final.
Yeah. And obviously, Barca have said, well, fair enough, you've done so much for the club that will agree to that. Mm-hmm. And then obviously it came out that they were like, well, no. I know it's within 10 days of the Champions League final, but the season's been over for the better part of 3-4 months in our perspective. Mm-hmm. And it was like, fuck you. No. There was obviously a massive sort of asterisk next to that. But the league have found in favour of Barca. So they've upheld the, no, if you want to leave, the buyout clause has to be paid.
And absolutely no team in the world is going to pay €700 million.
No one's paid 700
years.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
but to be honest, no one's paid €700 million for anything. I don't think so. No, we're not at that stage yet.
We're probably not far off at 200.
No, we've already had that.
Oh, maybe euros.
No.
Was Neymar at 190?
Well, Neymar and Mbappe are both massive.
Mbappe at 175.
Was it?
Let's have a look at what the internet says.
But anyway,
let's use Wikipedia.
Anyway, that's a massive stretch up to 700 million. I think if Barcelona had done a deal with Man City and gone 200 million, I think that's a lot of money for a 33-year-old.
I
think Man City would have had a go on that.
Neymar, in 2017, Neymar transferred from Barcelona to PSG in a move worth €222 million. Fuck me.
So is that £190 million? No, it should probably outside of £200 million.
£198 million.
Oh, right.
So yeah, so we haven't had a £200 million player. We haven't had a €200 million player.
Pretty big.
Pretty big.
But yeah, so that's why he's gone back, because basically he's just not the type of player that's going to all out strike.
I don't think so. He's not. He doesn't seem to be that sort of player. But
I can see why he's disappointed that they've not honoured an agreement.
The last 2 or 3 years, like, how many times have you ever seen him play with a smile on his face? Every time you see a press conference or like clips of the trainers, it looks like he's got a face like a smart bat.
I'll tell you something he needs to do, from my perspective. He needs to get his other leg tattooed, because it's fucking annoying. Because it just when they show him in they show those videos of him training, and obviously every video starts at a distance and then closes in and stuff. It just looks like a black sock on one leg and nothing on the other.
Is that why?
I think he did. I think he did have like other tattoos on there, and then he's obviously just got to the point where he's like, probably should have had that done, or didn't like it. He's just got it filled in. But it is just basically like someone just got a marker pen, just basically coloured the bottom half of his leg.
Yeah.
I just think it's bizarre that for someone who you trade is your legs.
Yeah,
it just seems to me like
you don't want to take the chance of getting like blood poisoning or whatever, or pool and stuff. I mean, like, you'll be able to talk from experience. You've had a lot of sort of like extensive. Well, there was one just sneaking in the bottom of the picture there.
The issue is though that okay, I'm sure that Andy don't want to have any complications with his legs or anything, but his legs aren't his.
Well, they're not what pays his bills. Let's put it that way.
No,
whereas with Messi,
that's this guy.
The money maker. No.
There's going to be a reveal one day where that beard comes up.
Oh, chin to two. Or it's that the beard is actually its own tattoo. It's just a 3D one.
I think you just invented something there. I like it. A 3D tattoo.
Is there anything super pressing from last week? Anything else, should I say?
I wouldn't say so. I think we've discussed the main stuff. Been a couple of there's not a confirmed transfer yet from Middlesbrough, but there's been stuff on the intranet of a new goalkeeper pictured with the manager, someone from the backroom team, and said goalkeeper with a shirt with his name and number on the back. So
seems pretty nailed on.
I'd imagine that will be announced before the end of the day / before lunchtime tomorrow. So Marcus Bettinelli signed on loan from Fulham for the rest of the season. That's the rest of the season.
Is that definitely the end of the pairs?
Yeah, it's looking like so. Yeah, you'd imagine that they don't need 4 first choice four keepers in the squad. So you'd imagine that there'd be a little bit of movement there from a goalkeeper perspective at the Borough.
Mm-hmm. Well, if there's nothing else, that gives me the opportunity to say.
I think. Well, I mean, the only other thing is, and it's like he's kind of like his football related, but not on the pitch related. Just a lot of special mention to Greenwood and Foden.
Oh, silly boys with their skirts chasing.
Icelandic models.
Yeah, she was pretty fit.
Broke COVID. So Gareth Southgate is like doing the last one.
Gonna win that back. Score 5 goals.
Yeah.
Andrew, please.
Speaking of Middlesbrough football, there was a Middlesbrough football game. And
yes, sir.
As we all predicted, it was just going to be a little light affair. Just get out there, just kick the ball around a bit, knock the rust off. Maybe a goal between the two teams. Some might say a goal apiece. Some might say a couple of goals. Nothing extravagant when Middlesbrough take on Shrewsbury.
Yes, absolutely.
What nobody saw coming was the 7 goals that featured in that game.
Absolutely.
Paul Williams, take it away.
So, 7 goals, as you said. Final score, Middlesbrough 4, Shrewsbury Town 3. So advancing to the second round of the Carabao Cup is the mighty Middlesbrough.
There we are.
Yeah. Goal scorers. Marvellous Marvin Johnson.
Marvellous Marv.
2.
Not one.
What could be this season's player of the season? Ashley Fletcher. Cashley Fletcher.
I think I read Fletchbomb.
Fletchbomb.
From someone.
From one of our friends. Don't think I'll catch on. And the final Middlesbrough goal was scored by a certain Marcus Tavernier. Sensible people may have tipped him up for a goal.
It's alright, man.
Yeah, but I also said that.
So, as correctly pointed out, Mr. Williams, as the only person that did predict Shrewsbury would get a goal, of the 3 goals scored, you did not correctly predict any of those goal scorers.
I did not. Sadly, we have S. High, J. Cummings, and R. Pike Sadly, I didn't go for any of those. I believe I went for my namesake, something Williams.
If you wanted a bit more confirmation about the transfers, go ahead.
Yeah.
No. Udo.
Sadly.
So,
where does that put us from a prediction perspective, Andrew?
score base for you, Mr. Williams, not well, because a 1-1 doesn't get you any points for a win. Luckily for you, clawed it back with a Tavernier prediction. James Panas, he did predict a win. And of his 2 predicted goals and his 2 predicted goal scorers, he did predict a Fletcher goal.
Who else there?
Do. Myself, I had faith in the Borough boys. Not a lot, but enough to get a point out of it, because I predicted a win. Unfortunately, that's where my points end. For those of you keeping score and keeping count, that puts one of our collective ahead by a point. So, speaking of teams that are staying in the cup, we go on to Barnsley versus Nottingham Forest.
Do I say something, James?
Yeah. So, as I said to you immediately, we have to put all our efforts into making Andy's prediction true. So we're concentrating on the league.
Do you remember that there was a time when we talked about getting things with, like, T-shirts and things like that, where there'd be a logo on the front and then a slogan on the back? Can you guess what your T-shirt's going to say? Pretty sure it's at the last.
Fucked it up.
Focus it on the league. What was the score, James?
It was 1-0.
It was.
Oh, no, sorry, lad.
It was.
Who
Because
scored that boundary? Who scored that boundary?
You've never got the goal scorer. Did you think about that?
Well, I won 1-1.
Now then, Mr. Williams repeated, literal repeat on this one. Went for the same score, so didn't get any points for the score, but did predict the correct goal scorer. Clawed a point back, almost identical to the Borough game.
Holly Woodrow.
Myself and Mr. Panas, not only did we not think that Barnsley were doing any points in that game, we also then obviously did not go on to predict any goal scorers.
Yes, and that.
What that brings us to is the only person to take any points out of that game was Mr. Williams, which means a tie this week. These 2 gentlemen on my left, which is probably your right. Paul 2 points, James 2 points, just 1 point for me. It's not a good start to the season-long winnings. Speaking of winnings, no pennies, no money in the bank. No. It's another week of working where we do, gentlemen, I'm afraid. No making it rain this week.
Probably not.
Unless either of you can correct me on this one, I have got 3 games written down to predict.
Oh, we've got some Tuesdays.
You don't have a Tuesday.
Oh, we're straight into that!
Oh, he's done it! He's pulled his pants down and everything.
He's only gone and fallen into the trap of thinking that his team wasn't a complete shithouser. So.
No, I'm surprised that round 2's so soon.
Also, skipping ahead slightly, obviously, so Middlesbrough won their game, and Barnsley won their game against Nottingham Forest. And then they had the draw for the second round of the Carabao Cup. Who were the 2 teams drawn together? Well, that's right, Middlesbrough versus Barnsley. So, if Nottingham Forest hadn't have shat the bed and pulled their finger out, we could have had another game to not go to, talk about next week, or talk about this week on the podcast. But no, we have to concentrate on the league. Unbelievable.
I don't know why those people think we're going to shit out.
You just got beat by Barnsley.
Yeah, but we weren't trying.
Oh, okay, that makes it alright.
According to my book, first game of the week is the Watford versus the mighty Borough.
Certainly is. Live on TV, no less.
I could.
Are we watching?
I believe that was the plan.
Oh yeah, I did ask the other two participants who were both up for it.
Are they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We'll
extend the invitation to this guy. He's part of the podcast.
We'll get it in somewhere before they start planning.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to the boom catalogue.
Yeah.
To do that again. Anyway, carry on.
As it's Mr. Williams' team, he gets to pick last. And according to my book, that means James Panas. Take it away, sunshine.
I think we might see 2-0 to Watford.
Oh no!
Your Watford goal scorers, please.
Yeah, can I come back to you on that one?
You can. And what I'll do for you, James, is I will give my prediction and goal scorer to give you time to find.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. My prediction is Middlesbrough seem to have started strong. I think that they might.
He's falling into a trap.
Don't be buying into the hype, Andrew.
When you say Middlesbrough started strong, they sneaked to win over Shrewsbury.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they did score 4, but they also conceded 3.
Yeah, but that's why I'm only going with a 0-1.
Wow, you want to win? This guy.
Goal scorer. Ashley Fletcher.
Fletch bomb.
A Fletch bomb. James Panas, are you in a position to...
I'll decide who I think is going to play for Watford.
This is the risk.
I only found out about 2 minutes ago, but boring.
Yes.
Are you able to give me one of the goal scorers?
Yeah, I'm doing. We'll go. You still sound state, aren't I?
I think so. We're still talking. Go.
Before Frank. Right, put me down for. I can't believe I'm saying this, and you'll never ever hear this again. Danny Welbeck.
Okay, so to put it in perspective, he's not even listed on the Sky Bet goal scorers option.
He's not moved now, so I missed it.
I think so.
And he did score at last. He did score in Watford's last game. Yeah,
I think so.
So we'll go with that. Is
again not listed on here, so no spot.
I'll do it anyway. Delafeu.
Good luck. Rob.
That'll do. Mr. Williams, your team will win by how many goals?
You went for a Borough win. He went for a Watford win.
1-1 then, yeah?
Correct.
Can I guess at your score? I'm going to bring it up on screen. Let me see if I get it right.
James is going to try and predict my goal score. Is this for Watford?
Yeah.
I reckon he's got it bang on.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Right, I've got something on my screen. I hope it's the same.
Go on.
No, because then you'll see.
Yeah, but you can do the reveal to the camera and to me at the same time.
Yeah, but what if it's wrong?
Because I'll tell you it's wrong.
So you want me to do it on?
Yeah. No, I wasn't. I wasn't thinking of Christian Cabaselli.
I don't know. I thought you were going to go for that.
So, if you do fancy a little bit of Christian Cabaselli to score first, he's 50-1.
I tell you what, probably shorter odds than 2 I'd hit though.
Last 50-1. Anytime 22. No, 20. Sorry, it's 20-1 to score anytime. No, I'm.
Oh, hang on.
No, I'm going to go for the very, very aptly named, and he sounds like he could, take a chunk or two out of the Borough players. The aforementioned Luis Suarez.
Oh God!
I'm going to go for him to score.
Is that where he is now?
No, it's a different player. He's getting sold by Barca, but he won't drop as far down as Watford in the Championship. For Borough, I'm going to go for Tab to get another one. Marcus Tavernier
yeah.
Again. I think that's not one of the best football. But, well, it's also an absolute joke because he's not had much since he's been.
Okay, well that is that game locked in. Second game on my pad. QPR, or as they're also known, the Queen's Park Rangers, versus the Nottingham Forest. Luckily, James's team, so we're going to pick second, or even last.
I'll go first.
So,
totally messed up. You know, I was showing you things there. Well, we're listed as a Pizza Pot Premier League game.
Excellent. That's amazing. I will take the option on this. I would like to predict a QPR 0, Nottingham Forest 2 scoreline.
Interesting. Normally you don't go big on Forest, but you think QPR...
I think QPR are going to shit the bed this season. So, I would like to put forward goals scored by Lyle Taylor.
okay.
And Lewis Graben.
Lewis Graham, 70 goals this season.
Just 7. If you've got the space for it, the bet's already in. So my Watford 1, Borough 1 is 11-2. My QPR 0, Forest 2 is 11-1, giving me a double of 77-1.
Dunzo. I'm with you in spirit, Mr. Williams. Just the one goal though.
Interesting. So 0-1.
0-1.
Going for a brace of 0-1s, I see on your predictions. Interesting.
Joseph to get that one goal.
Oh, I was just trying to think of the old Joseph. Lolly. So your Middlesbrough 1-0 is 9-1. Your Nottingham Forest 1-0 is 13-2, giving you odds of 74-1. Beautiful. What do you say? What?
Yeah.
Have you given your goal story?
Yeah, Welbeck and
Delapeu.
Yes.
Speaking of goal scorers, give us some goals for the QPR Nottingham Forest.
Can I guess at what James is going to say?
It's going to be 0-9 on this one. He's going big this season.
I reckon he's gone for this. No, I
don't. Down a bit. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It is 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah! Yeah! where Matt Moore is just burying his head in his hand.
One of them has to be positive.
Get him on the phone, quick.
We'll go for Graben.
I am shocked.
Carvalho.
Mike Cash! Oh, wait a minute.
Alex Maita.
Oh, this is the young kid, isn't it? Surprised you didn't go for a shithouse Yates goal.
I'm not convinced Yates will play.
Well, so, for Mr. Panas, Watford 2-0 comes in at 8-1 for him. Forest 3-0, a whopping 25-1, giving James a double of 233-1 for the weekend. Let's hope it comes in and we can have a few beers. Both wanky and non-wanky. Well, it'd still be wanky, wouldn't it?
Tesco's have stopped selling that one. I like, or I don't know if they've stopped selling it, but there's still some kind of construction going on, and this seems to somehow.
I saw that when it was in there the other day.
This somehow relates to lack of really nice beer, non-alcoholic, obviously. My book has the previously mentioned Middlesbrough versus Barnsley game written down.
It does.
As it is again, Mr. Williams' mighty borough. James, any thoughts on this game?
I'm tempted to say if they can beat Forest, they're going to beat Forest.
Sadly, there'll be no bet placed on this game, as you can only bet on the actual full-time results. So this will just be a prediction, not a bet. Sadly.
I will go for 0-0. Yeah.
Barnes is well.
No, I was going to go for Borough to win. But I don't think it really matters because we're only going on full-time.
Well, yeah, but you might get a bonus point if you get the penalties correct.
I think Borough might do have penalties.
The carrot for the winner of this is a trip to Stamford Bridge, and I don't mean the one near York. Chelsea in the next round is the team that away for the winner of this tie.
Have they just done the next 2 rounds, or is it built up?
So James has gone 0-0, so therefore he doesn't have to pick any goal scorers. Sensible.
Do you know what?
I think the Barnsley kept us out, they can keep you out.
I'm gonna flip it. So I'm gonna go still with a 1-0. I'll pick the other goal scorer I was gonna pick in the other game. So Tavernier.
Impressive. I would also like to pick 1-0 Borough. But goal scorer, I'm going to go for a CWB.
Really?
You see, I was actually getting to a point where I was like, has Wing gone somewhere? But
so I think towards the end of last season he wasn't really in Warnock's plans, but I'm assuming he must have had quite a decent pre-season. Or he had to play him because both of the other 2 options in midfield were on international duty. So he might have liked what he saw against Shrewsbury. He might give him another shot. But yeah, I'll go for a casual wingy barrier.
no, absolutely. As I said previously, unless either of you can tell me otherwise, I believe that brings us to the end of our week's predictions.
Certainly does.
That is all I've got.
Same here.
Some point in time, we may have to look at reinventing the wheel. No, wait, the quiz. But I was thinking we'll get a nice little flow going, get a bit of something, and then I think we need to have a real think about how we do the quiz going forward.
Yeah.
Some kind of point structure, some kind of handicap, some kind of get a guest on, and that guest teams up with James.
I don't like this.
We made a quiz then.
I'll keep trying.
I mean, there was like 17-point difference last season.
I don't mind. It means more.
This guy, such a annoying. There you have it.
So there we go.
Bags.
So look out for a future, more streamlined quiz.
Absolutely.
I have to get my hat on, the old thinking cap. Thank you, gentlemen, for freeing up the time from your very busy schedules to sit down with me to discuss the world that is football. We will do this again in just a short week's time. Do like, share, and comment, and let us know why you're here. As James was saying, let us know why you're here. Other than the bant, obviously.
Subscribe there.
Hit that subscribe button. We're looking to get to 150,000 subscribers.
I think what the kids say now is, you subscribe and click the bell icon so you know when the releases are out.
Absolutely. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye. So there you go. What do you think of that? Another one done. Another week gone. Whew, tell you. YouTube watchers, do subscribe. Means the world to us if you do. Click for notifications so you are informed the moment a new video is released. And then you can get all over it. Everybody have a look over at the cookiecast.com. See us over there. Send us some love. Social media, email, any of that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's it for this one. Till next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then. Bye.